What is up, Need for Speed Racers? It is I, your wheelman, Alex Cornut, and I'm here today with the Porsche 718 Cayman GTS. You guys have been asking for this one for like a month. I was going to bring it out last week, but kind of got released around the same time, so whatever, we're going to let it roll. This is a grip build. It's super sturdy, very predictable, great pub stomping car. I wouldn't say it's meta, but I would say it is a very, very good car for those that are looking to drive a Porsche in S-Class. This is Nil's personal vehicle. A handful of you guys have seen him use it when we're streaming and doing stuff, and it's time to bring it to you because there's been a lot of requests for it. So let's just dig into it. Gameplay footage at the end, pretty solid. I even get a little spicy with it because, you know, we out here. All right. So for everything, all things considered, the styling portion is what we'll go with first. There's a lot of stuff you can do. There's a lot of different mirrors. There's a lot of different body kits. There's only two different ones right there that you're going to see, but there's like multiple different fenders, multiple different bumpers, a lot of different mirrors. I mean, you can really make this car look crazy, and you can go straight wide body with it and go just crazy back end. So I went more of a Need for Speed, Most Wanted kind of blacklist look with it because that's what it reminds me of the most, but it's good. A lot of styling. I would say this is probably a 3 out of 3. You can really do a lot with it, really personalize it to your own. For the performance, now this is a great build, very stable, very similar to other builds out there. We have had this 4 months, 5 months. Nil's been driving this for forever, so it's just time to get it to you guys, and it's a grip build, so it's a little different, but I do want to disclose that there's some similarities. The engine that you're using is the third engine over for S-Class. It is the 3.8 liter V6, 304 brake horsepower when we start. For the parts, you're going to go Sport, Bronze, Induction, Elite, Platinum, ECU, Super, Gold, Fuel System, and Silver Pro Exhaust. Now you have two options with the forced induction. You can pair it with the twin turbos like I currently have it, or you can run the Roots supercharger. They are both very good. The Roots supercharger is going to give you another 20 foot-pounds of torque, but it gives you that torque in a very linear kind of everywhere pattern. It goes right to the moon, and then you've got it all places. The turbos, you have a little less torque, and the way that they spool up, it makes the car a little more predictable on the low end. So when you're turning, doing your thing, Nil's preference is the twins. This is how he's got it set up. He runs the twins, but I do want to show that you can boost it up with the Roots if you prefer that. Truthfully, we think that a majority of the Porsches really do well with a turbo style induction. They just seem to like the boost a little different. I don't know, it's really a feel thing, so I would encourage you guys, if you're going to get into the car and kind of make it your own, maybe try both and see what you like, but I've been running it with the twins. This car, when I get to the transmission, I'll kind of explain to you the nuances of that. We pair this with a Sport Bronze nitrous bottle. As always, we run the Elite Platinum Road suspension. We leave the brake stock, that's Silver Pro, and then you're going to put Elite Platinum grip tires on it. Sport Bronze clutch. Guys, if you're running this in automatic, you might make some trade-offs with some of the power to add a better clutch, because there is an 8-speed that we put in it, but for manual players, this is a very engaging car. Lots and lots of gears to play with. It's a lot of fun because we pair it with the Elite Platinum 8-speed transmission. Now, the reason we're going with the 8-speed, you'll see that if we tear down, the 7-speed gives us a better 0 to 60. The 6-speed is even a higher PI value and gives us a better 0 to 60. This transmission works the way it's supposed to. Every time you add a gear, it puts the gear ratios closer together. So with the 8-speed, you go from about 4,500 RPMs to 5,200 RPMs, and that's the range that the gears are at. So it's like you go 600 RPMs, next gear. And so you're in the power almost all of the time, and you've got a lot of different gearing options for each individual corner on track. That's very good. It's engaging. There's a lot of shifting going on, but it also allows you to pick the very best gear for each individual corner to make sure you're in the power. So that's great. That being said, the caveat to that is when you get a 3 bar of boost, you need to short shift and grab that next gear before you hit it, so that way you're not shifting during the boost window. That way you get the most out of the yellow boost. I would say that this car is more of a higher tier for driving. You really want to have a good driver mod to get the most out of it. As a new player, you can still run this car and do fabulous with it. You really can. But I just want to say that, like, to get the most, you really want to be probably driving a manual and really knowing when to shift and get the most out of that manual transmission, so that way you're in the power all the time. Elite Platinum Differential is what I always run. You guys can get away with the Sport Bronze. I say you definitely want to at least put the Sport Bronze so you can get 100% grip. Auxiliaries, I run Nitrous Grip and Nitrous Drift. It's a banger. That's what we do. For the handling, slide that slider full Beyonce to the left, 100% grip. Steering sensitivity, I run it 2 clicks high. That is perfect for me. This thing will Tron turn really well. Like, we're talking full 180, no problem. So if you're having problems with your Tron turns, you might back that down a little bit. So just go with what you feel and then make corrections on that based on your driving style. Downforce, you can do a couple things with it. The last 3 clicks are your spots. So all the way high, 1, 2, those 3 spots. Last 2 clicks. The last click's 330. So there's 2 spots right there. That's where you got to be to have it at S329. Everywhere else is S plus 330. So go all the way high, back it off 1 or 2, and that's your spot. Traction control off, drift entry, I run brake tap. That is going to be the Porsche 718 Cayman GTS. 206 top speed with just full speed, no red line tech. This will do like 211. It's awesome. I run it on the fish hook. I'll show you that run. It's pretty solid. 703 for your brake horsepower and 901 for your torque. If you run the route, you'll get like 920 something. I think 927 or something. So you get a little more if you put the roots in it, but I don't necessarily think you need it. That's it for the 718. You guys can experiment with different things. If you're running automatic, you might back down the transmission for less gears. Makes it a little better for your shifting. There's just a lot of different things you can do on this car to kind of tweak it for your preferences. But it's solid. I really like it. I think it's a banger. I think it looks great. A lot of styling. Very, very well put together car. It handles amazing. Give it a run. Stay tuned for the gameplay footage. I stream on Kick and on YouTube. I'm off of Twitch. Twitch is the devil. So come and check me out on Kick. It's similar to Twitch, but it's just better for me by far. So it's a smaller platform. Not everybody knows me over there. So come and drop a like. Come and hang out. Yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for that gameplay footage. We got a couple surprises for you, and have a great rest of your day. Bye bye. We're gonna get a little boisterous with it. I'm gonna do a donut at the start. I saw some Forza clips, so we're gonna peel off to the right. I'll do a 360, and then we're gonna try to catch these guys on blue collar. See what we can do. We'll launch in second for our donut and just see how we do. I really don't do that too often, but it'll make for some entertaining gameplay footage for you guys. Plus, I like chasing. I'm the fastest when I've got a carrot in front of me. If I got somebody I can chase after, my lap times really come down a lot usually. I do like that both the Lambo boys know the line through there. Exige boy does not. Alright, he hit us there, so you'll see I was tapping the brake to get into the micro drift there, but because we made contact with that Exige, that stopped us from being able to get our micro drift going. So that's one thing. If you are racing somebody and you guys make contact, just be aware that there's a chance that you're not going to be able to get any boost for a short period of time after that collision. So just a little food for thought. Make this one more interesting. We'll do a 1080. We'll do 3 donuts at the start. Let's see if we can get up there. We're gonna try not to kill the Lotus next to us, but there's not enough room for me to go to the right and start doing our spins. So we'll cut off to the left and we'll make it work. I just murdered our boy. One. The car is not donutting. This is bad, guys. This is bad. I'm fully committed, though. Goodness gracious, that was atrocious. I ruined the Exige's race. Hopefully he gets in front of the other 2 guys. I don't want to jam anybody up like that. I was trying to get around him. I didn't anticipate this car not actually spinning. Get some oncoming right there. I'd like a 2-bar going into this section. Cut it really hard. Go to the, oh my god! What a move. I didn't expect that. That threw us completely sideways. It hooked so crazy. This car's got the TRON turns in it, man. But it handles so good. Like, I was just full steering lock right there, but it just had what we need. We're gonna draft. We're just gonna hang out. Click 7th, boost. Go. Oh, sorry, Exegi boy. That was not intentional. Stay to the left over here. This is kind of the line I take because there's all this dirt you can get into, and it's really easy to avoid traffic from there. We'll take the shortcut. I mean, this car doesn't have so much power that's going to pull you out of trouble, but it handles really, really good, so you should have no problem going in. I mean, that was just light braking there. 1 click down on the downshift. We'll grab the 7th and accelerate. Let's see if we can do another 1080 for the finish here. Let's do something. Car's really good. The fishhook is, I think, that and Scenic Route are the only 2 tracks in S where you really get to see exactly what it does on the top end. You can get some cars to top out for sure on Rapid Transit, but this is a really good example of what they'll do. Both the boys got a bad start there, so we're just gonna wave au revoir to them. Well, guys, look when we shift. We go right just past, like, it's like 5,100 RPMs, maybe 53, and then it drops right down into 4th gear, right at the 4. So there's only like a 600 RPM ratio between the top of the gear and where the next gear starts, and so that really allows us to get and stay in the power of those twins the entire time. I love 8 speeds. The more gears I can put in it, the better. It's just more engaging to drive. Alright, yeah, so it had no problem. Wasn't even bouncing yet. We were doing 207. Obviously a terrible turn there, but let's see what it does here. Get back up to speed. Now the technique I just used there, guys, I knew I was about to get awarded a 3-bar, so I was already holding the nitrous button down. Oh yeah, 209, that's great. A little red line tech, this thing will probably do maybe 215, maybe. Takes a long time to get there. It doesn't accelerate as hard as some of the other really good cars we have in the class, so it's got the legs, but it doesn't have as much horsepower to get you there for the power to weight ratio. But very good handling car, very predictable, a lot of fun to drive. There's a reason that this was Nil's like personal vehicle that he drove all the time. Because he's not out here trying to be super meta on stuff, he just wanted to drive good handling, predictable cars, and this is definitely one of them. Okay, we'll see what it does. Yeah, about 212. So it's not quite as fast as the Diablo, but it definitely handles a lot better. Diablo makes wide turns. This is a nice, nimble little car. Definitely very well suited for most of the playlists you're going to get it into. Mind you, a 223 is not that smashing. I ran a 217 in the Diablo, so the legs really on that Diablo got us up there faster at the top end. But it's really preference. Like, if you're looking for a different car, you want to drive a Porsche, this is a good one. I think you guys will really like it. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.